What's up, y'all? Brandon with BC Talks here. So it's been a minute since the last haul, I know, but I'm back. I got another haul for y'all, and this one's going to be a lot of fun, at least in my opinion. I won a slab for a really good price on eBay a while back, and I have been waiting for it for a while. I finally got it in. It's not the seller's fault. It's just been some mix-ups with the mailing, which the seller was actually really gracious through the whole process, so I'm really appreciative to them. But we'll get into all that when we get to talking about the slab. And it's not the biggest book. I'm not really that big of a slab guy. I'm more of a raw book guy. So I don't often buy slabs unless I see one that I want that has relevance to me personally for a really good price, and that's what this was. So I got a slab that came in the mail, and I have a couple whatnot packages as well. So let's see everything that I got in today's video. Before we get started, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel for more comic book and pop culture talk. And shout out to everybody who swung by my very first What Not live show last Sunday. I had a lot of fun just chilling with you guys, talking comic books, looking at different books, and selling a few as well. Those got shipped out, and I got word from a couple of y'all. So thank y'all to everybody who stopped by and just chilled with me at my very first Whatnot live show. I'll be scheduling another one coming up here in the future, so stay tuned for that. And make sure you follow me on Whatnot. And you can use my link down in the description of the video. If it's your first time signing up, you'll save $10 off your first purchase. And I'm going to be putting up a lot of books in the meantime on the marketplace. So keep checking that out. Follow me on Whatnot and stay tuned for future shows. Oh, and by the way, I know a lot of y'all newer subscribers are here from all the back-to-back hauls that I was doing, but I do know a lot of other different content on the channel. If you look back, I do movie and TV show reviews that are related to comic books and superhero content. I do talk about movie trailers, and I'm a big fan of Star Wars, so I talk about all the Star Wars related content. But I was doing a lot of hauls back-to-back because during the strike, they couldn't release any news about anything. So now that the strike is over, we're getting a lot more news about movies and TV shows. So definitely have a lot more of that coming up mixed into the hauls. But I'm still definitely gonna have a lot of hauls. Don't worry. For those of y'all that just came here for the hauls, there's still gonna be a lot more hauls. I can't wait for Black Friday upcoming here because my LCS is gonna have the dollar bins 10 cents a book. So that's really great value. So I'll be there. So I'll definitely have a really big um, you know, Black Friday post Thanksgiving haul for y'all. So look forward to that. And I'm always going out looking for deals at different shows and whatnot. So definitely stay tuned if you're here for the hauls. There's still going to be a lot of hauls coming up. But let's get to the slab. Like I said, this one has it's not the biggest book, but it has a lot of meaning to me personally for my collection. This is Wonder Woman #1 by George Perez, and it's a 9.2. So, like I said, not the biggest book, but it was a really good deal. It was 39.99. I won in an eBay auction, and it was free shipping. So, really great deal. And as y'all know, this is a wraparound cover. I love George Perez's art. He's one of my favorite artists in the comic book industry. Um, really great art. Really great art. Um, a really cool wraparound cover. And this is Wonder Woman is one of my favorite DC characters. And a lot of, as y'all know, I didn't collect comics growing up. How I got into comic books is through the animated shows and the movies. So, Batman and Superman animated series, Static Shock, the Teen Titans, the Justice League animated, Justice League Unlimited, then into Young Justice, and obviously the Batman movies. So I when I started collecting, I was more geared towards the post-crisis DC books because a lot of the characterization of the DC characters in the 90s and early 2000s animated shows is based off of their post-crisis interpretations. So Wonder Woman, which George was made by George, written and drawn by George Perez. Also, the I'm collecting the entire run of the Giffen and DeMatteis Justice League, which is post-crisis. and really reshaped the Justice League characters. A lot of the B and C listers that you see in the Justice League animated series, and then the Marv Wolfman Teen Titans run as well. So those mid '80s, early '90s runs, they have a really special place to me as a collector. And Wonder Woman #1, as y'all may or may not know, Wonder Woman, when she started out, she was basically just bondage fetish. William Marston, he is the creator of Wonder Woman, and he was like a psychologist or a psychiatrist or something like that. And he had a lot of interesting worldviews and whatnot. And so, but he created Wonder Woman way back in the day. And she didn't really have a lot to her character. And then Denny O'Neil in the '70s, he took over writing Wonder Woman, and he basically turned her into Carmen Sandiego. She was like an international spy. She didn't really use her powers that much. She was kind of like James Bond, but a woman, and because James Bond was really popular back then in the '60s, and then the Linda Carter show came out, and that kind of made her a bit more popular of a character, made her a little bit more well rounded as a character. But that was a TV show, not the comics. But then there was a little bit of a lull in popularity after the Linda Carter show, and DC had the Crisis on Infinite Earths, which I've talked about at length on the channel. The 11-part miniseries that kind of destroyed all the millions of multiverses that DC had, took all the continuity into one universe, which then later on, uh, in the '90s, it ballooned again, and they had to do another Crisis event. But for a while, the continuity was pretty clean, and out of Crisis on Infinite Earths, we got George Perez's Wonder Woman. And basically everything that everyone today knows about Wonder Woman was created in this series by George Perez. This is the first modern appearance of Themyscira, Gaia's girdle, Hippolyte, Ares, and the Olympian gods. Wonder Woman also gets a new origin in this. So basically, he retold the story of Wonder Woman. He gave her a lot more agency as a character, and a lot more backstory. Um, and I really love the design of Wonder Woman as well that he did. George Perez obviously is Hispanic, and he kind of made her look more Hispanic, with her hair and whatnot. And that's kind of been documented that he said he kind of, because he was drawing from his experience, and so he kind of made her more to look like that with the long dark hair, that design. And then also he's the one who made her villain Ares, and he kind of tied in the Greek gods into her backstory. That wasn't really a big thing with her. So basically, everything that people know about Wonder Woman today was created by George Perez, and so he's really influential. This run is on her character, and she's one of my favorite DC characters as a whole. And even we still use that Wonder Woman logo that he created up there at the top there. They still use that in the movies. So yeah, George Perez was very influential on Wonder Woman, and I'm glad to have this in my collection. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention the reason why it took so long for the slab to get here was just some shipping mix-ups. I actually, like I said, I won in an eBay auction. The people I won it from was a comic book shop in Northern Connecticut, and I won it back in September. So I was actually going to pick it up in person when I went up to Connecticut to visit family, and I went to Massachusetts to go to the Brimfield Flea Market back in September. I was going to pick it up then on my way back, but I wasn't able to get out to their shop before they closed in time. So then I had to go back home. Because I was only in Connecticut for a little bit, and then so I had them ship it out to me here, but then they shipped it to my apartment, and the package was too big, so they couldn't hold it, and they were holding the slab package at the post office, and I didn't know that. I didn't get the update. So they had it at the post office for a while, and then they reshipped it back to the sender. So they reshipped it back to the LCS, and then I finally found out that had happened. So then I reached back out to them, and they were gracious about it, and they reshipped it back out to me to my parents' house, which obviously they could hold it because it's not an apartment, it was a home. So I went there and picked it up. So yeah, just some shipping issues for why is why it took so long. But yeah, well, from all the way back in September, so here we are in mid-November. Finally got the book, but I'm really excited to have it. And I forgot to mention before, I'm probably going to crack the slab open, get it cleaned and pressed, and resubmit it because I think that I can squeeze out a 9.4 or maybe even a 9.6. I don't think it can get a 9.8, but definitely a 9.4, I believe, based on the grader notes, and maybe even a 9.6. So we'll see in the future. I'll give y'all an update on how that goes. But this next package was from Whatnot, and it was from King Zombie 65 on Whatnot. Check him out; he's got a lot of great books. And if you're a Charlton Comics fan, like y'all know, I am a fan of romance books and Charlton Comics, a lot of their books. Then you are in luck. But this first one is actually a Marvel book. It is The Adventures of Kool Aid Man, #1. It's a really interesting book. It's actually a key as well. The key is that it is a promotional comic given away by Kool Aid, despite having a 60-cent price listed on there. So I can see it says 60 cents on the top, but it was actually a promo comic that was given out for free. So they didn't ever sell it. It was like a promo they gave away, a giveaway. So yeah, really interesting book there. Adventures of Kool Aid Man. Not one that you see very often, so that'll be cool to add to my PC. Then this next one, we got a couple of romance books from Charlton here. And I'm a big romance fan. We have Just Married, #9. Really love this cover. Um, y'all know I really love romance books, just like the drama. They're like mini soap operas in every book, and there's always a girl that's being not noticed by the guy or being cheated on or something's happening, and she's looking on in disdain. Um, and then and I really like the cover as well on that one. Romance books are the covers are really underrated as far as covers for comic books go, especially the Charlton Comics ones. This next one is For Lovers Only. This is #82. Another really interesting cover, and both of those were actually the Just Married was $5. The Kool Aid Man one was $3, so that was a really good deal. And then the For Lovers Only was $3.50. And then we have Dr. Graves, #75. I don't remember how much this one is. I was, but I think it was like $3 or $4 as well. It's a newsstand. I've never seen this series before. It's a Charlton Comics one, but I've never seen this series, Dr. Graves. But it looks interesting. Um, so I might have to see if I've like never seen this out in the wild. I've never seen anyone ever talk about this series. So if you know anything about Dr. Graves, let me know down in the comments below. Seems like an interesting character just from the look of the cover. But that's all the books that I got in that package from King Zombie 65. And this next package was from DRC Comics on Whatnot. Some really cool books that I got here. This first one, it has a sticky note on it, as y'all can see. It was from I won it in a giveaway, and this is Spider-Man versus Wolverine #1. It is a newsstand, a really cool cover there with Spider-Man and Wolverine, and it is actually a key. It is the death of Ned Leeds. Wolverine discovers Peter Parker is Spider-Man, and Spider-Man inadvertently kills a woman by punching her, thinking that Wolverine snuck up on him. So I'm gonna pop this one open and read it probably before I rebag and board it because it sounds like a really interesting story. I'd never heard of this one before, but it is a really cool book. Looks to be in decent condition as well. A couple spine ticks and whatnot, but um, yeah, look, presents really well. It's a really cool cover. So a really cool book to win in a giveaway there. This next one, I have a million of these now. But as I said in the intro, this is my probably my favorite comic book series of all time, the Giffen and DeMatteis Justice League, which um, Keith Giffen. I think I call him Kevin before. Giffen, he passed away unfortunately. Um, Last month I think it was, or a few weeks ago. But yeah, the author of one of my favorite runs of all time, the Giffen and DeMatteis Justice League run post Crisis. I think this is like the third or fourth copy of number one I have now. I'm gonna see which one I have, which is the best copy, and definitely get that one graded, cleaned and pressed and graded, so that I have a, I might start a collection of my favorite. I might start getting slabs of my favorites post Crisis series. So this one I got the Wonder Woman, and then the Marv Wolfman Teen Titans um number one. I might get the number ones slabbed and graded. So yeah, now I have like four copies of this one. Um this next one is one that's a bit topical. This is Transformers number 11. Really love the yellow cover. Yellow covers are underrated in collecting, I feel like. A lot of the yellow covers are really good. They pop really well, especially with the red characters. It is a newsstand, and it is the first full appearance of Jetfire, obviously the Decepticon who later becomes an Autobot in issue number 14. And the reason I say it's relevant is because, as y'all may or may not know if you're following modern comics, Robert Kirkman, the author of The Walking Dead, and also I got the compendiums back there of Invincible. If you're an Invincible fan, he created Invincible and The Walking Dead. He is rebooting the Energon universe. So he's combining G.I. Joe and Transformers into one universe. And I read the Void Rivals series that he wrote. Not the whole thing. I didn't finish it yet. I'm a little bit behind on my new comic book day reading. But the first few issues that I read were really interesting. And I also read the first issue of the new Transformers, which was a really good as well, I thought. So that's why I say it's a relevant one, because they're rebooting the Transformers universe in the comics, and Robert Kirkman is kind of the orchestrator of all that. So I think it's going to be really good. He's really good at making popular titles. So we'll see what they do with the Transformers. This next one is Quasar number one. This is the first solo series featuring Quasar and the origin of Quasar. I don't know if it's Quasar or Quasar. I always say Quasar, but I have heard a couple people say Quasar. I feel like it's Quasar though. I don't know why you would say Quasar. It's like Caesar and Kaiser. Maybe it's both. You say it both ways. Like if you were Roman, you said Kaiser, but we say Caesar now. Um, but yeah, so the first solo series of Quasar and the origin of Quasar, there was some rumors going around that Quasar might show up, um, and because of the Marvels. I won't spoil it if you haven't seen it, but if you have seen the Marvels, um, you might know why. I mean, the Marvels have been out for like a couple weeks now, but I won't spoil it for people who haven't seen it. But I think that there is a possibility that we could see Quasar, given some of the events in that movie. This next one is Wonder Woman number 113. This is the last one, actually. And speaking of the slab that I got, this is from that series, not from the George Perez run, though. This was when John Byrne took over the run. And so this George Perez was well off the run by now. Um, by issue 113. But this is the first appearance of Cassie Sandmark, who becomes one of the Wonder Girls. Now, Cassie Sandmark, she's not my favorite Wonder Girl. I think my favorite Wonder Girl, I mean, Donna Troy's the OG, but I really like Yara Flor, who I have up there, the Funko Pop there. I really like Yara Flor personally, just for the potential that she has. But I think Donna Troy is probably my um Donna Troy's the OG, so it would, for me, it would be Yara Flor, Donna Troy, Cassie. But Cassie's not a terrible character. But yeah, speaking of the Wonder Woman series, we got that one. So yeah, some interesting books in that whatnot package there. And the last couple packages has had one and then two books in them. So close it out here. Not no keys, but just some interesting books that for my PC. This one is Avengers number 329. I just really like the cover. Y'all know I love the floating heads covers. And I also really like the grid covers as well. This one, not all of them, but this one in particular, I really like with Cap in the front there. It's just a really cool cover. And this one was from C. Fuller on Whatnot. I think that one was like $3. And then the next couple were from Supernova Comics on Whatnot. We have Teen Titans Spotlight number one. This is the Starfire Spotlight. It's a newsstand, and that one was just $1, and that'll go in my Marv Wolfman Teen Titans collection. I don't believe I have that one, so that will fill a hole in that collection. That one's not a key. And then this last one was, y'all know I'm collecting the Chris Claremont Uncanny X-Men run. This is some run filler. It's a newsstand of Uncanny X-Men 170. Again, not a key, but I don't have this one, I believe, and it was just $1, so I picked it up for cheap to fill out the Chris Claremont run. And that's going to do it for today's mail call. Some really interesting books. I really like the Charlton Comics books. Y'all know I'm a big fan of romance novels. And the Dr. Graves one's interesting as well. Then some interesting run filler covers and whatnot from whatnot, and of course the big book, the Wonder Woman #1 slab from the George Perez run. As y'all know, I'm a very big fan of Wonder Woman and particularly the George Perez run. So that was really cool to finally get that in from off of eBay. But let me know down in the comments below what your favorite book was from the mail call. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel for more comic book and pop culture talk. And I will see y'all another day.